Today we're unboxing and reviewing one of the most talked about toys right now, the ZURU mini brands Fill the Fridge set. Mini brands have absolutely exploded in popularity this year, and the Fill the Fridge version in particular has been really hard to get hold of, especially coming up to Christmas. So the big question is whether it actually lives up to the hype, and whether it's something your child would genuinely enjoy playing with. ZURU are known for their mini brands ranges, all those tiny, realistic food and household items. And this set takes things a step further by adding an actual play set. Today we're opening the fridge itself, setting it up, opening some blind bags and surprise balls, and we're also going to make one of the jellies that comes with the fridge so you can see how that works. The fridge play set is usually around $19.99. The surprise balls tend to be anywhere from about £8 to $15 depending on the pack, and it's recommended for ages 8 and up. So let's open it all up and see what you actually get. So once the fridge is unwrapped and you open the door, everything's actually packed inside, which I really like because it feels like part of the experience rather than things just flying everywhere. The shelves are all in there, along with a few little blind bags, and opening the fridge and seeing it all come out is surprisingly satisfying. The fridge itself feels really solid. It's heavier than I expected and it doesn't feel cheap at all, which is always something I worry about with toys like this. There are some really sweet little details on it too, and I love the light inside. At first I thought it was just for show, but it actually does something, which we'll get to later with the jelly. Putting it together is really easy. The shelves just slot straight in, nothing fiddly at all, and it's definitely something an older child could do on their own without getting frustrated. Once it's set up, it already looks really cute, and I can totally see kids enjoying filling it, rearranging it, taking things out and putting them back in again. The instructions are nice and simple, which I always appreciate. You don't have to sit there figuring things out, it just shows you what to do, especially for the jelly, which is really helpful. In the blind bags, you get a mini food item for the fridge and a little scoop utensil. It might sound like a small thing, but those sort of accessories really encourage proper play rather than just opening everything up and moving on. And then there's a jelly making kit, which I think is such a lovely idea. Everything you need is included. The jelly liquid, the little tangerine pieces, the mould, the plate, the lid, even the tiny tongs. So you don't need anything extra and it feels like a proper little activity. Okay, so this is the jelly bit, which I actually think is really cute. You get this little bottle of jelly liquid and you just pour it into the mould about halfway first, so nothing complicated at all. And then you add the little tangerine pieces, which are adorable. And I love that they thought about those extra details rather than it just being plain jelly. After that, you top it up with the rest of the liquid. Once it's filled, it goes straight into the fridge under the UV light. And the instructions say to leave it there for about 20 to 25 minutes to set. I really like that it's not something you have to wait ages for, it feels really manageable. Then you just pop it back in the fridge and let it do its thing. It feels more like a little activity you could do together rather than just a toy. So we decided to open one of the 2-pack surprise balls, because once you've opened one, you do get a really good idea of what they're like, and they take a little while to get through anyway. Straight away you can see how mixed they are. Some of the minis are really good, and some are more like, oh okay. The pepperami and the turmeric shot are cute and realistic, but they're really quite simple. They're more just the kind you put in the fridge and that's sort of it. Then we opened the Pizza Hut Big Dinner Box, and that one was such a standout. Box opens, there are 3 different pizzas inside. You can take them out, and there are even little details like missing pieces, exactly like you'd see in a real fridge. That's the sort of mini that really sparks imaginative play. The fresh fish and the ham are more basic again. They're fine, but they don't really do much beyond looking like the real thing. And then the fruit tray was another really lovely one. The lid comes off, and inside there are different pieces of fruit rather than just one solid block, and I really like that, because you can imagine kids using those bits in other ways, adding them to the jelly, mixing them with other food, or just making up little fridge games. I think that's the thing with these surprise bowls. Some minis feel really special and detailed, and others are much simpler. You definitely do get some wow moments, but you do have to expect a bit of a mix. So while you're watching how the jelly turned out, which I was actually really impressed with, here's my real honest verdict on the Fill the Fridge set. I do think the fridge itself is good value for money. For the price, you're getting a proper little play set, not just something to open and forget about. You've got the fridge, the shelves, the magnets, and the jelly making bit, and a few minis to get you started, and it really does feel like you're getting your money's worth. The mini themselves are a bit of a mixed bag. Some of them are absolutely gorgeous, really detailed, they open and they've got bits inside, and those are the ones that kids will keep coming back to. Others are much simpler. They're fine, but they don't quite have the same excitement. You can definitely tell that some of the minis are rarer than others, and I can already imagine there being a few that kids really want to find. That's part of the fun, but it also feeds into the whole just one more surprise bowl feeling. And this is the very mum bit. Once you've got the fridge, your child is probably going to want more. Every time you walk into a shop, they'll spot the surprise bowls and ask for another one. And that's before you even get started on all the other mini brands ranges. The food, the books, the sneakers, it can quickly turn into a whole collection. I don't think that's a bad thing, as long as you go into it knowing that. As a one-off gift, especially for Christmas, I think it's a really lovely starter set and it feels worth the money. It's fun, it's well made, and it's a kind of toy your kids will keep going back to. Just be prepared, because once this fridge is in your house, it probably won't be the last mini brands thing you buy.